Always a little tricky to get this going, but hopefully this is working now. There's always that. Okay. Lining up my Instagram, and that way you get a good picture on Instagram. There we go. Should be streaming there. And we are live here on YouTube and on Zoom. So thanks for tuning in today. We've got a great Strata Live for you today, and I've got some really cool stuff to show you. If you've tuned in before, I always got cool stuff to show you, but this is really good. We've got some new stuff to really show you, and we're excited to be here. It is a Tuesday morning here in California. It's a beautiful day in California. Good morning if you're in the United States. Good afternoon, good evening if you're elsewhere. And we appreciate you joining us today. So we're on Instagram. We are on YouTube, we are on Zoom, and you can comment and you can provide feedback and you can get us the insight that we're looking for, and we can help you. So on the call today, we've got my brother and co-founder, Peter. We've got Margot. We've got Austin. We're here to answer questions. I'm going to demonstrate some of the product. I'm going to show you some sneak peeks. I'm going to show you some brand new features that we just released, and I'm going to show you where we're headed at the NAB show. Now, if you don't attend NAB is really exciting. It's the National Association of Broadcasters. It's in Vegas. It's in 3 weeks. And if you're not planning on going, but you're considering it, you should really go. There is so much networking there. Sometimes people say, why should I go to NAB? I can read about all the technology online. You're missing out on the point, because the opportunity that people have for communication is not just about the internet and reading about it. It's also about fellowshipping and communicating with people in real life. And you got to network. You got to meet people. You got to go there and do that. So this is why I go to NAB in person. We shake hands, we talk, we clink glasses, and we strategize. And so it's important to go. Now, we can get you in for free, because if you haven't signed up, Pete can put in the chats a code that you can get in for free. And if you use that code, you can register, and you can use that code to get discounts on hotels. We'll be staying at the MGM Grand. Good hotel for the price. Just saying. And they got an amazing food court there, and that'll help you save money. And you can use the monorail to get to the convention center, which also saves you money. So if you're looking to save money, MGM's got everything you need. And we could put a code so you can sign up and attend NAB. We want to meet you at NAB, so that's why you should really go. And if you're already going, we're looking to see you there. We're in the South Hall. There's our booth number, and we're really excited to see you at the actual group. So there's the code is going in there, so you can sign up and join us for NAB. That's in 3 weeks. But I'm going to show you a sneak peek of some of the stuff that we are building. Strada is all about accessing media, and our access, we are serious about this. There are companies out there and people that talk about the value of access, but we want you to have access to your footage anywhere, anytime, any device, immediately. That last one's really important. Immediately. How can you have access anywhere and immediately at the same time? Right? Because the cloud is access anywhere, but it's not immediate, because you have to upload to the cloud. You have to wait to get things uploaded and published to the cloud. That's not immediate. That's tough. That's hard. And so what we want to do is crack this code. And we really want to find a way to get you access for all your collaborators immediately, and no waiting. And so I want to show you something that's really bothered us for a while. See, I've worked at cloud companies. I worked at Frame.io. I've worked at Adobe. But there's a problem with the cloud. And all this time spent working at cloud companies, and I subscribe to a lot of cloud products. There's tons of cloud products that I subscribe to. And there's this big problem with them. Cloud is really not designed for video. It's just not. Most of the data in the cloud is not video, but video is the most complicated type of file there is. Think about it. Of all file types, video is the absolute largest, and it's the most complex. And so cloud is hard for us because we got some real problems. Check this out. See, why is file uploading so flawed? When it comes to video, there are a few things that are really problematic, because we shoot big files. When you're shooting, your files are automatically big. Even small files with video are pretty big. So that's a problem, and it hurts your ability to get it into the cloud. But also, we record too much, right? We are so good at hitting that record button and letting it roll and roll and roll. You might argue that's just bad discipline, that's bad habits. Yeah, but it's what we do. We just record, and directors want to say, back to one, try it again, keep rolling. Or you're doing a podcast for an hour and a half with 4 cameras. Now you've shot 6 hours of footage, right? It's just easy to shoot too much footage. But then we've got this internet problem. In North America, the average internet upload speed is 30 megabits. That's the average. In California, for a lot of us, it's even worse than that. So we just don't have a lot of bandwidth because most files that come out of cameras is bigger than 30 megabits per second. In fact, just to make a point, the new Arri Alexa 265 shoots 2.4 terabytes an hour. So 1 hour of Arri Alexa 265, if you uploaded it on the average internet, it would take a week. Now, I know that's outrageous and you probably wouldn't do that, but to make a point, data that we shoot is bigger than the internet pipe we have to upload to. So that's a problem. And let's just say you do have the ability to upload it. Let's say you're lucky, you've got a really great AT&T or Fios fiber connection, and you can upload those files. The problem is you can't leave it in the cloud very long because the cloud is so expensive. In fact, the cloud is 40 times more expensive per gigabyte to store than a hard drive. So when you buy a hard drive on your desk, you're paying 40 times less per gigabyte to have that on your desk than in the cloud. That's a big difference. That's why even if you can get files in the cloud, you can't afford to leave them there. So what do you have to do? You have to delete them. You have to replace them. You have to change them out, right? And that's a problem. And then we've got our software stack. Most of the software that we use to create are local applications. They're not cloud applications. And so our software is at the edge, right? The edge is here on our desktop computers, and we don't use as much software in the cloud. So if your media is in the cloud, but your software is at the edge, that's a problem because our software stack is varied. So these are all problems that are really making video in the cloud hard. Now, we really think that we can really break this down in another way, and we want to solve it. This is what we're really passionate about solving. Look, we love local drives, right? Because there's a couple of reasons we love local drives. First, they're really fast. Thunderbolt 3 is fast, right? They're inexpensive. So you can buy drives really cheap. We said they're 40 times less expensive than a cloud. I mean, you go to the store, you buy a 4 terabyte RAID for $100. It's amazing what you can get for these prices now, right? So that's really great. But here's the problem. Hard drives are not collaborative. So when you upload, when you put files on a hard drive, if you want someone else to have that file, you have to get another hard drive. You got to transfer all that media over. You got to put it in the mail. You got to ship it to them or send it to them, right? Or drive it to them. So clouds are collaborative. Hard drives are not collaborative, but hard drives are cheap and fast. So that's why we love the cloud. We have that benefit of collaboration, but clouds are really slow. We talked about it's hard to upload files and it's really expensive to upload them. So here is the problem. This is it. There's only 2 ways to actually collaborate and make a project. If you're going to make a project, you can only have it on a hard drive or in a cloud. That's it. So what we're doing here is something really crazy. What we're doing at Strata is we are building a way to give you the benefit of local drives and cloud collaboration at the same time. And what that allows you to do is give you cloud collaboration without having to upload. It's really exciting. John Walter on YouTube says, is it true Europe and other countries outside of the US have faster, more cost-effective internet than the US? What do we need to do to improve speeds here in the States? John, I've traveled the world. I'll tell you what, I actually don't think that's true. When I go to Europe, I actually find, especially in big cities like London and Berlin and Munich and Amsterdam, the internet is not better than it is here in the States on average. And again, in Los Angeles, the average upload speed is 30 megabits. We don't really get that in a lot of major cities in like just houses and apartments in Europe. And then if you go, I've been to like Bristol and other parts, northern Britain, and the internet's even poorer. So I don't really know that we see better internet in Europe. And then we have a good friend, Robin Moran. He's in Indonesia. They've got problems with internet. There's 20,000 islands in the South Pacific over there, and they have a hard time with internet. Just internet is tough. And so products that work in the United States might not work anywhere else, and they might work the best here. That's why it pays to try to find good internet when you move or you get an office. And so obviously we all know we want that. But really what you're talking about, John, is a collective action problem. And what that means is we have three independent issues. One, we have bandwidth that is available from the internet service provider. They are their own business with their own problems and solutions and business model. Then two, we've got the ability to have cameras that shoot big files. That's a totally independent issue. And then three, we've got cloud companies that want to store them and share them. They have their own problems and their own business models, right? So the problem is when you have internet service providers and cameras and cloud companies that are all different, we have a collective action problem. And so it's not going to get solved. Bandwidth isn't going to solve it because the cameras or the clouds don't, just because if the bandwidth gets better, the clouds don't lower their prices, right? And if the clouds were to lower their prices, that would be amazing. But if they were to do that, then it won't matter if the internet bandwidth isn't there, right? And so these are independent issues, which is going to be a big problem. So we have an opportunity here to try to solve that. And we want to solve that because Strata is a technology company. We interface with cloud, we interface with cameras, and we're providing software. And maybe we can fix this problem. John, I hope you keep watching this because I think we can solve this. And one last point about that question you asked, John, is that the internet service providers always prioritize download over upload, right? Your download speeds are 2, 3, 4, 5 times faster than your upload. So they're not symmetrical, which means when you have to upload, you're always going to be penalized. These are all problems that are bad for video. It doesn't matter really for photos or documents, PDFs, and things like that. Those people, your bank statements, none of that's really affected by this in the cloud. But video is a different story, and that's what we're here to solve. So what we are building and what we're going to be showing at NAB, and I'm going to give you a sneak preview today, is called Strata Agents. Strata Agents is a new technology that we are inventing here at Strata that allows you to take a hard drive and turn it into a cloud. It's so cool. So here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to switch over to Strata. Strata here, I am running in Chrome, so hopefully you can see this in Chrome. And for a moment, I'm just going to stop sharing my screen because I want to actually look at another video file so you can see it full screen. So Pete, can you and Margot bring up the other Zoom feed here so we can see the other Zoom feed? So what we're going to show you, I know I've stopped sharing here. I wonder what this looks like on Instagram. It looks a little funky. Okay, so what you are hopefully seeing is a larger picture of me and another computer. And so if you're looking at that computer, this is in Culver City. So this is another computer. And if we look at it, let's investigate here. We can see here, there's a big hard drive on the left. That's an OWC Thunder RAID, a Thunder Bay. We can see below that a little Red Mag. So there's a camera card. So I've got the Red Mag plugged into USB-C. So that's from a red helium camera. On the right, in the back right, you can see there's a SanDisk there. That's what G-Tech became. So we could see that drive. And if you look really closely next to that little drive, there's an SD card in the SD slot of this MacBook Pro. So we are running that. Now, if you look really closely on the desktop, you can also see there's a speed test there. I don't know if the resolution is good enough for you to see, but the speed test there is 36 megabits per second. So that is right about the average upload speed of North America. And that's nothing that spectacular. 36 megs isn't that good, but that's what this computer is able to get. And this computer is on Wi-Fi. So it's not even hardlined. It's just doing this off of Wi-Fi. Now, if you look even closer at the top, you can see the drives that we just mentioned are mounted. So you can see the Thunder Bay, you can see the SanDisk, you can see the camera card and the SD card. You also see LucidLink. I'm a LucidLink user, and you can see LucidLink is also logged in to this computer, and you can see the LucidLink logo. So hopefully you can see all those elements. You also can see a clock. It should say it's 9:17 in the morning, and it is 9:17 here in California. So you can see all this is happening in real time. You're literally seeing a live Zoom. That's not a video playing back. That's a live Zoom of a webcam looking at this edit station. Now, what's unique about this station is it is running a product called Strata Agents. And Strata Agents is a little application that is going to turn that computer and all of the drives on it into a cloud. And all you have to do is download and install this little application and do it. So I'm going to share my screen again here. And now I'm going to go back to Strata. And in the upper left, I have this little button here that says Strata Connector. So on the bottom, these are my workspaces. This is what we call Strata Cloud Connect. This is the parts of Strata that you have today. If you're a user of Strata, you can build workspaces. We're going to go into that a little later, but you have that. But at the very top, there's this new button called Strata Connector. And if I click on that, what's going to happen is it takes me to this place, and look at this. Michael's Connections. It says Strata MacBook Pro. What you're seeing right here, the MacBook Pro, is the MacBook Pro we just saw in the webcam. And look here, I see the camera magazine. I can see the desktop and downloads folder of that computer. I can see the SD card, which is from an FX3. I can see that G-RAID. I can see this is actually LucidLink. My file space on LucidLink is called Strata. And then we have the Thunder Bay. All of these are available and connected. So now what can I do? Well, I'm going to click on the G-RAID mirror, and I'm going to see some folders here. And I'm going to click on this folder, and I see this button called Harlow. And now I am going to open up this folder here, and I'm going to hit play. And right now, hold on. I clicked the wrong button. Actually, that's a funny thing. I've done that before. So I want to make a note to Austin. I've done that before. Anyway, okay. I'm going to hit play here. I am now playing back a file on my computer right in front of me, except this file is on a hard drive 12 miles away. This is totally different, right? The file you're seeing right here, let me skip a little further so we see a take with some people in it. Here we are. We'll watch a take here. Watch another take here. Okay, so is this, yeah. So now we can see, hopefully this is in, yeah, it's all on my screen. Okay, there you can see. What we see here are all my files. Now it's very early, so we don't have thumbnails yet, but they're coming. But what you're seeing here is I'm playing back dailies. I'll click on another take here. We're playing back dailies, except these files are not on my drive. They're on this other drive. So do you realize the files are not in the cloud? They're on a hard drive. They're not being uploaded. Remember the camera card? Look at this. I can see this is a red mag. I can click on the red mag. Here are all the files in the red mag. Now, Strata today cannot debayer raw files. But if I use on my Helium, I can shoot raw files and ProRes. So there's a ProRes file here. Now, this is going to look weird because it's going to be log. But what you're seeing right here is a log visual shot of what was on this camera mag. Let me get another shot here. You can see it's uncolor corrected because it's actually log. But this is literally looking at the file from this red mag. So I'm reading files off the red mag and playing them back. Aaron asks, do the thumbnails load? This is an alpha build, so thumbnails are coming. And so, Aaron, thumbnails will be there. Yes, this is not released yet. What I'm showing you is pre-release. It's in alpha. When we deliver the beta, we will it will have thumbnails and a lot more features as well. But I mean, think about this. I mean, if you're a DIT or you've ever worked on set, think about this. I'm literally playing back camera media, log original files from a red camera magazine remotely. Do you get it? Do you get it? Like this has never been done. This is crazy. It's not FTP. It's not VPN. It's not screen sharing. It's a completely new technology that we put together to give you access. If I go to the FX3, I can see all the files from the FX3. If I go to LucidLink, if you're a LucidLink user, look at this. We just created a LucidLink integration. And now I'm looking at files and I am literally playing back files in Strata that are on my LucidLink drive. So as I click through this, I'm playing back LucidLink media remotely, but I don't have to have LucidLink on this machine. I can access it through Strata and play the files back that way. So this is a completely new way to interact. Now that's really powerful for LucidLink users because today your producer and director and writer and cinematographer and post-production supervisor, they don't have a LucidLink account. It's usually just for the editors, and LucidLink doesn't have a player, but now we've built a player for LucidLink, right? Because you can just access your LucidLink directories. You can see your folder tree and your folder structure and just go right in and see all the files on your LucidLink directory and load them up and start playing them back. It's so amazing. Aaron Ernst says, can you hear the audio in real time? Actually, I'll do this, Aaron. Let me just stop sharing. I'm going to reshare and include sound. Don't worry, Pete. I'm back. Okay. And if so watch this. I will go to this folder. I will go to the movie National Treasure. So here's the movie National Treasure. And if I hit play, I'm going to let it start playing. And you should, Aaron, start hearing the sound. I'll skip a little further along.
By then, the Masons included George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Paul.
So hopefully you could hear that. I'll mute it. But yes, we could. Hopefully you
coming
could
through great,
sound
Michael.
there. What's that?
Coming through great.
Great. So Aaron, you were hearing audio. Yes, we're playing the sound back. If I click to someone talking here.
I'm the only one who can figure it out, and you know that. He's bluffing.
So there you go. So we can do that. But if you also notice something really cool about this is that Strata is not in the cloud. We're not using the cloud to do agents. So therefore, there's no buffering. So watch this. If I click to the end of the movie, we could skip to the end without buffering. If I go to the middle, we can go to the middle. Now we can go to the beginning again. And now we can go to the end again. This file doesn't have to buffer because it is playing off of a hard drive, right? So you have a completely different experience of how to access files and play them back. So this is a very, very different experience. That John Walter says, could you please browse the folders on the Thunder Bay to demonstrate the performance of browsing through a large file structure? Oh, good idea. Okay, so we'll go to Thunder Bay here. So you can see there's a lot because this is 130 terabytes. So if I click on this, it'll load that whole. So now I just open up a whole nother directory. We'll go to episodes and it's going to load a whole nother directory. And I'll go to episode, 24. We'll go to that directory. And then I'll look at the hero file. We'll go to that directory. I'll see outputs. And I'll go to that directory and I'll play this file. And so now that quickly, I went through the Thunder Bay. And now I'm playing back. Here we are on set. At first glance, it's a normal day with a team of talent coming together to capture a scene. But on this set, we're doing something that has never been done before. Today, we're pioneering a new form of production, focus pulling using Apple Vision Pro. So there, John, I just went through the Thunder Bay. The Thunder Bay is 130 terabytes. I browsed through all these folders. I went through this, and I could click on a different episode, go to the hero episode, and now play a completely different episode. We'll play this one for a second. It's an instrument capable of measuring the dynamic range of any camera. If we profile an iPhone 15 and plot the results on the chart, we can evaluate the sensitivity of iPhone 15 and compare its dynamic range to any other camera. So this is really cool, John, because we're able to make these files accessible, and I don't have to upload 130 terabytes. Honestly, if you had to upload 130 terabytes to the cloud, it would cost you like maybe $5,000 to $10,000 a month, right? For all of that. But on a hard drive on your desk, it's only about $5,000 for 5 years of a RAID, right? 130 terabytes. And so I'm able to browse my entire Thunder Bay directory and get access to everything in it, and just click around, and now I can share all that media. And I don't even know what I'm clicking on here. Yeah, so I'm just sharing. Here's some camera raw files. See, that's why they're logged. They're ungraded from one of our shoots. So very, very, very cool there. So Aaron asks, what's the minimum internet speed for this to work? Well, that's a great question. So let's look at this. Remember, the files we were looking at, the computer we were looking at was 36 megabits per second upload. Well, check this out. I'm now playing back log ProRes files. These are ProRes files playing back. Now, I don't know if you know this, Aaron. It sounds like you might know this, but ProRes is bigger than 36 megabits. In fact, the smallest ProRes is 40 megabits, but most ProRes is 100, 200, 300 megabits per second. Strata is able to decode the ProRes and encode it so that we are playing back ProRes log files here. This is camera original material you're seeing, and the file is bigger than the internet upload speed, right? So on some level, it doesn't matter how big your files are. It doesn't matter because Strata is going to encode it in real time on your computer. So that computer that's running the agent is doing the encoding. And that encoding allows you to just go through these files. And these files are way bigger than 36 megabits per second, but it works. And you can see it all playing back right now. And we're able to browse. So it's really cool to be able to browse through files and show ProRes files. So that's really great. And even when I have really, really long files, this file here is 90 minutes long. I can just start playing it. And we
love the outdoors though.
Yeah, we have the ability to just go through and start playing really long files. It's really, really cool. Interviews. Here's a long interview, which is really cool. So this interview will be something like 20 minutes long, and I can skip right to the end and get to the parts that are later in the interview. So I have the ability not to upload an entire 2-hour interview just to watch it, right? So it's really, really cool that we can do that. Here's another angle of that interview. Never uploaded to the cloud, but accessible here in Strata. So this is really, really exciting. So when this comes out, we are going to release this we're planning to release this right around early April, right, for NAB. So around April 4th. That's our goal. That's our goal, is to give you the beta on April 4th. When we do that, the beta is going to be what I showed you. You can access files, you can remotely connect to them, and you can play them back. You can search your directories. You can have all these, files here loaded, and you can play them back remotely. So that's what's going to come out. But we're going to quickly then add sharing, downloading, uploading, and commenting. That's what's coming next. So imagine being able to share off of a hard drive, and then someone can download it. You don't need to have a file transfer system. See, if they can just download from your hard drive, that's called peer-to-peer. So you don't have to upload it first for them to download it, right? So this solves that whole problem, and people can access a file and just right-click and hit download. Or you can start commenting on it. I'll be able to soon transcribe this interview right off the hard drive so that I can go through the interview and read everything that was spoken. And then I can search that interview, and then I can comment on it. And remember when I went into the Thunder Bay here and I accessed some episodes, I would be able to go into an episode here and make comments on the final episode. So that's all stuff that we're going to be make possible through this process. Kurt Gehrig, V Gates, Kurt, guten Abend. it is possible. Is it possible to run multiple agents on multiple servers at the same time, at the same remote site, and connect them to Strata? Yes, that is totally possible. You could run multiple agents on multiple servers on the same site. Now that would take up more bandwidth, presumably, Kurt, but it would also it would absolutely work. So if you put 3 computers, 3 agents, you'd have 3 times the amount of access and encode as long as you have the bandwidth. Kurt, tell us what your internet is there in Österreich. We want to know what your internet bandwidth is there. Let us know. And 45 up. So 45, that's better than a lot of people. Still not great, but 45 is going to do a lot for you. So that's really, really good. So that's pretty cool. And so if you really think if you want to call this the Napster of editing, you're right on point. It's very much like that. There is something like that. Aaron says, what about the editing capability of agents? Aaron, maybe that'll happen someday. That's kind of where this could go. We got to take this in strides. We got to get the performance to be really good, so that we have really good performance and optimization. But I like what you're thinking, Aaron, and where you're going. But Aaron, we need your help. We need you to sign up for the product and be a customer, because without customers, we can't develop this and solve more problems. It's really simple. We're a business. So please sign up for the app, get agents in the beta as soon as it comes out in 3 weeks. And then start giving us the feedback, and let's push the technology together. People that pay for the product are not only going to help us build a better product, but we're also going to be able to favor your feedback. If you pay for the product, I'm willing to take your input and build the solutions you want. So it's pretty exciting. So that's really, really cool. So that's agents. Again, quick recap. Agents will allow you to actually, I could show you one picture of this. Hopefully I have this. Maybe I don't. I don't have it. Sorry. I was going to show one more picture, but I don't have it. But agents in April is going to come out, and you'll be able to do the server, set up your server with Strata Agents. You'll be able to share your drives, and you'll be able to play everything back. And then we will add uploading, downloading, commenting, and transcription. And then we'll add more and more, right? But I'm connected to RAIDs, drives, and even Lucid Link here. So it's very, very powerful. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back to Strata Cloud Connect, which is the current version of Strata. So to do that, if I click in the upper left here, you can see I have a bunch of workspaces here. These are how, this is how Strata works today. And so while we are building a solution that reduces your need for cloud, cloud is still really important. And so that's why today we support Frame.io, Dropbox, and Google Drive. So you can connect to Frame.io, Dropbox, and Google Drive today. And that's how you can access media in a cloud today. And Strata Cloud Connect is continuing to get really fast and really powerful. And I want to show you some new features we just came up with. So the features we just came out with are transcription summary. These are only about a week or 2 old. Transcription summary, facial recognition, commenting, and global search. These are 4 things I'm going to demonstrate right now that just came out, and they're really, really cool features. So let's start with transcription summary. So I'm going to go to this project here called Disney. And what I can see here, remember we had this National Treasure film. So we were looking at that earlier. So I'm looking at this in Strata. I can click around, and here is the movie. Okay, great. But if you see here, I've got the whole movie transcribed. So if I wanted to search Liberty, I can find Liberty is spoken 6 times in the movie. And every time I hit the down arrow, it'll take me right there. And so here he's going to say, in front of the Liberty Bell.
Timely shadow crosses in front of the Liberty Bell.
There you go. So we found that. So we have that. But check this out. This is really, really powerful. We've got our transcription search, but now there's a transcription summary. So if I wanted to summarize the story of National Treasure, I can just press that button, storyline, and it will now generate a full summary of the movie. And so this is a 2-hour movie. It's going to read the transcript and generate a summary. This is so handy for when you have to write those descriptions for YouTube and Instagram and TikTok or anything like that. So here you can see Strata has now put together the story here. And if I were to copy this, I can open up text edit. I'll make this bigger for everybody here. This will be a little easier. And I'll paste it in here. And now I can make this big so we can all read it. So this is an outline of the movie National Treasure. And it's done all this work for me. So this is a really handy way to kind of use what some people call a ChatGPT experience, except it's on your video assets. But look at this. If I go to regenerate, I can write my own custom prompt. So I say, the main character is Benjamin Gates. Summarize all his personality traits and put them in a list. So now I've asked it to generate a specific type of summary that I'm looking for. And so what I want is the character, Nicolas Cage plays the character Benjamin Gates. I want to know his character traits. I know this might seem a little far-fetched, but you can understand you can get creative with your videos and your transcripts, and it can be something that helps you build a better podcast or better descriptions and things like that. Here we go. I'll copy this now, and I'll put it in the text edit here, and we'll make it big. And here you can see, here is a concise list of Benjamin Gates' main personality traits: intelligent, determined, resourceful, quick thinking, brave, loyal, principled, clever, patriotic. The writer of this film would love this result, right? This is really cool. You can do this with descriptions on your podcasts, interviews, church sermons, or movies or YouTube videos, all of this stuff. Very powerful. David Brillhart, good to see you, David. Great DP, David Brillhart. Thanks for joining. He says, I love the summary feature. It's excited, useful, and cool. I love it too. I think it's really powerful, and it's something that I get to use more and more depending on what I want to do. You know, when we do a Zoom call, we can get a transcript and a summary of that. People are getting that now. It's cool, but you can't do it with your video assets. And now you can. Summarizing an interview, especially when you're doing documentary, you shoot a dozen interviews. Now you can get the summaries, and you can generate multiple summaries. Super powerful. Okay, so that was the summary. Now I want to show you facial recognition. Well, last weekend, I was with some friends, and we shot a short film called Murphy's Ranch. It's directed by the director, Mikey Riva. And what's cool here is if I look at the dailies, I can load all the dailies here. So we'll see all the files. But what's really powerful about this is I have all the dailies here, so we can see that, but I've got this little button right here. If I click, so I want to show you how to, I'll first show you how to do a facial rec. I right click on all the assets, I say analyze, and I can turn facial recognition on. So Strata will automatically analyze all the faces, and it will pull the faces for you. So once you do that, you click on this little box right here, and now it will show the faces that it found, and you label the names of the faces. You just double click and you type in the names of the faces, and now Strata will bring you the faces that it found, and you name them. And once you name them, now you can search by them. So if I go to the search here and I say, I want to search for Tom, it will find all the shots with the character that's got Tom, right? So that is the character Tom. There he is. If I wanted to find Tom with Nate, it would find times that Tom and Nate appear together. And so we can see Tom and Nate appear together in the same shots in this particular sequence here, right? If I wanted to search by the character Asher, it would find Asher, but I could say Asher by the pool. And now to find Asher when he's by the pool. And so now we can combine those together. So this is really, really powerful.
And then will you find
of Asher and the pool together. So this is where we're able to do that. Kurt makes a really good point here. Film festivals will love the summary feature. I never thought of that, Kurt. That is eine gute Idee. So I love that. So very, very good idea. Yeah, so facial rec is really powerful because you can find who you're looking for, find them real fast. Very, very cool feature. If I switch back to my workspace, I have so much footage in here. When I go to the facial rec, look at this. I have thousands of faces because I've analyzed so much footage, so many projects. So this can get really big if you have one giant workspace, but Strata can handle it. And I can find the people I'm looking for. So if I'm going to skip ahead here to global search. So watch this. If I go to global search, I can click this little magnifying glass here, or we have a quick key, which is Apple K. If I clicked here and I actually look for the character Rose, and I didn't know where she was, the global search finds it for me, and it brings me to that location. So that quickly, I was able to get to the character Rose. There she is, because I used global search, right? So it found that. So I don't even have to be in the project, right? Here's another character I could look for. I could look for Shayna. And if I look for Shayna, it'll find her, and then I can open up that clip, and there she is right there. And it brings me to the Harlow project. So because it understands facial recognition, it says, there is Shayna. This is her face. This is where she appears in this project. It understands that. And if I said, I want to find Shayna and I want to find Max, it'll find where we see Shayna and Max together, right? So I could find Shayna and Max and drink. And if we don't get them drinking together, but here we are, Shayna and Max together. Here's another shot of Shayna and Max together. So very, very powerful way of being able to kind of see this world work, right? So facial recognition, very, very, very powerful right there. So we can see there is Shayna right there. Yeah, cool. So now I want to show this last section here. I mentioned commenting. Well, this is new. This is brand new and very, very exciting. So if I click here, we now have a button in the upper right called commenting. And now in Strata, you can go through and make time code accurate comments like you do in other products. So this is really, really great because I have all them there. So if I click on this comment from Pete, these are real comments, it'll take me right to that moment. If I click here, it'll take me right to that moment. If I click here, it'll take me to the moment. So the comments are anchored to the time code of where the comments are made. This is a promotional video for agents that we're doing right now. And Pete is giving me comments. And then I can respond to the comment by hitting the little reply button. And that allows me to make a reply. But there's something else about comments we put in. Comments are great. There are other products that do it. We're doing it very elegantly. And remember, when you combine this with agents, this gets really exciting because now people can comment on a file you don't have to upload to a cloud, which is really, really, really exciting. That's so much faster and so much less expensive. But today, commenting is only available in the Strata Cloud Connect space that I'm in right now. But there's something else we added here. If we look at the bottom right, when I start typing a comment, you can see this comment is going to go to everyone. Okay, but I have the option now to do direct messages. See, when you're commenting on video, sometimes you don't want everyone to see your message and you want to write someone specific, but you don't want to risk having that visible by everybody. So you get a text message or you write a Slack or something like that. But now in Strata, I can go to Peter and I can write a message to Peter and then Margot, and I could say, let me write a message directly to them. And I'll say private direct message. And when I post that, now, I don't know which time code I put that at. There it is. I made this message right here, and you can see it has a little lock on it because it's a private message. So this is a private message that we're able to generate. Oh, that was a different one I made. Might have made that test earlier, but there it is. There it is, private DM. And so it's got Peter, Margot, and me. So this is just a private message between us. And it's still tied to the time code, but you know it's not going to anybody else. And if you look at the top now, we have notifications. So this little bell shows me the notifications, and these are the notes that were given to me on March 17th. So I can see yesterday there were 3 notes that I need to check on. And if I click that, it'll take me right to that space. So if you look at your notifications, you can click right at the notification. It'll take you right there. So very, very powerful commenting experience here. Aaron from Zoom says, question regarding a potential use case for transcription. I produce docs and would love the ability to create a bunch of selects from an interview and then put them in a timeline. Is there an integration with Premiere so that I can use Strata transcript to help me in Premiere? Aaron, you're right on the mark. You're just a little early. Let me tell you a couple of things about transcription that's different from us, from anyone else. First of all, we are the only group. So watch this. Watch this. I can take a bunch of audio files here. We're the only company that can take a bunch of clips and transcribe them all in bulk. You could do 100 transcripts all at once, which is super awesome. You could just set these all up to go. Secondly, we support more than 100 languages. So you can see there's tons of languages here in our workflow. In fact, if I look at this interview right here, you're going to love this, Aaron. Watch this. I am going to go to the transcription, and hopefully you can hear this. I'm going to hit play, and I'm going to turn on the captions. Listen to this. Oh, hold on. Let me try one more time. Didn't play back. One more time. Here we go.
大家好，我叫王倩，我来自中国天津。
So what you're hopefully hearing, Aaron, is that Chien here is speaking Mandarin. So if I type in the word painting, I can learn that she talks about painting, which, by the way, is in the transcription summary because she's given me the summary of this. And now I can listen to her talking about painting. I'll hide the other cameras so it'll be a little larger, and listen to this in the transcription with painting right here.
开始学习素描，然后学习山水画。
So we are able to see this in English, but the original transcript's actually in Mandarin. So here is the same transcript being played back, and she's actually speaking in Mandarin. So Strata can translate 100 languages to English, which should help your workflow as well. Now, when it comes to your question about editing, I will show you a sneak peek here. This is a work in progress in which Strata is building a playlist editor. So here is the timeline. So you could search by your transcriptions. You can pull selects, and then you can put them in a timeline. And that timeline can then be exported as an OTIO format to Premiere, Resolve, Final Cut, and Avid. So that's how you would interact with that. Someday, if you sign up for the product and pay us, and we grow this product, Aaron, we need your help, we will build a panel directly in Premiere. So you can just pull the media and pull the timeline right into a Premiere timeline. But we don't have the resources to do that today. So we're building our own timeline here, which is very valuable because anyone can assemble their favorite selects, their favorite takes, things for agents or lawyers or, whatever it is. You can start building a timeline of selects based on all these tags. And remember, Strata is the best in the world at metadata tagging. Watch this. This is really powerful. At the top left here, we have tagging here for tagging and searching sound, video, metadata, or text. So watch this, Aaron. If I just search for audio and I search for the word rat, it's going to find every time the character says the word rat. So if I say rat, it's going to go right there. And here she says rat poison, right? So we can see that's spoken right there. But if I turn on the visual tag, now it's actually going to find a picture of a rat because it knows what a rat looks like. So this is a visual tag of a rat. Now, if I type the text, it's going to show me where it sees the word rat. So we can see this says rat trap. We can see there's a box here that says rat poison. So this is where we're searching visual, audio, and you could use them all. I could turn them all on, and now I'm getting the word rat, a picture of a rat, and when I see rat visible. So I'm searching for all those. If I wanted to search metadata, well, I could search for something like scene 28, and now it would find scene 28. I think this is a tail slate. You can see there, scene 28. Or if I want to look for scene 14, and now to find all of these scenes and look at the slate, scene 14. Look at this slate, scene 14. Also A and B camera. Strata is the only cloud product that can play back multicam in the cloud automatically. So very, very powerful to see that. So we can search by metadata that way. We can search by text. They're in the liquor shop. And if I wanted to find the port, isn't there a scene where there's a port bottle? Boom, right there. I've got the port bottle because it understands that port is actually visible. See, so it's in the tags there and it sees port right there. So you can see how fast we can search. So searching is really good. You're going to use that search to trim things down, put them in a Strata timeline and share them out. And all of this will eventually be possible off of a Strata agent. Today, all of the search that I showed, all of this collaboration, all the transcription and commenting, all that is limited to the Strata Cloud Connect product, which you can sign up for today and you can use today. Just sign up at strata.tech. You can start using that and you connect Dropbox, Google Drive, and Frame.io. Remember, these are how we connect: Dropbox, Google Drive, and Frame.io. That's how you bring those files in. But we are building Strata agents, and Strata agents will allow you to do these features and functions off of a hard drive locally. And so that's kind of where we're headed. So it's a really, really exciting way of building a new world of products going forward. So we're super excited about it. So we want to invite you all to participate and join us in that. So I want to remind you all again, if you have any other questions before we go, please send me a question before we go here. But Aaron asks, will that be ready at NAB? So for NAB, here is our booth, and we will be releasing agents in beta. And the beta of agents, I can switch back to it. The beta of agents will allow you to connect drives, to browse through those drives, and to grab assets and play them back. And that can be drives from a camera card, from a RAID, from a NAS, even from LucidLink. So that will be that. That will come out at NAB. Then after NAB, we will release sharing. So you can share this drive with your collaborators remotely. Then we will add uploading and downloading. So you can pull files from it and push files to it. And then we will add commenting. So you can start making feedback notes and commenting on the drives, and then transcription. And then we'll go from there. Michael from YouTube says, is Strata agent going to be enterprise only? 100% no. No. We want everyone to do this. Remember our mission, Michael, the mission at the beginning. We want you to access media anywhere, anytime, any device, immediately. That's not for enterprise. That's for everybody. In fact, non-enterprise people need it more, right? Because we have less time, less people, less resources. So we need collaboration to work. Remember, we love the cloud because the cloud is good at collaboration, but cloud collaboration is too expensive. That's why we love hard drives. And so Strata is taking these green checks right here, and we want fast, inexpensive, and collaborative, and we want everyone to have that. And that's what we're building at Strata. And so we're really, really excited to bring that to you. So we need you to sign up for the app. We need you to try it. You can have Strata Cloud Connect today. That will set you up perfectly for when we release agents in a few weeks. And then you can start using agents for review and Strata Cloud for the commenting and transcription and translation. And then we'll be adding all the Strata Cloud features into agents. And we want you to join us and help us make this better. Help us build this product. Help us put all of this into one product. You pay for too many products. You pay for a commenting tool. You pay for a transferring tool. You pay for a storage tool. You pay for a transcription tool. And what we're trying to do is put that all in one product. And we call that a platform. Strata is a platform. And so this allows us to do that. And then when we combine Strata Agents with Strata Cloud, you can have your media wherever you want. Aaron asks, any plans to integrate AI from other AI tools into Strata? Because if you get to an editor, it seems like that would be extremely useful. Well, we have many AI models in Strata, and we will keep adding that in there. And AI editing may be one of those models we add in. But again, Aaron, we need users. And so we need you to use the product, tell us what we need to do to make it better. And if it starts working for you, tell your friends. That's how we're going to build this thing and put every feature you want in it. And that's what we want to do. So I am really excited to have you all join us today. Here is a last picture here. If you need to reach out to any of us, we're available. We love communicating. We love working with you. We love getting the feedback. So please reach out. Thanks for checking in today. I love doing these live sessions. We do them every Tuesday. So if you liked it, tell your friends, look at our social media, and have someone join next week, because the questions make it special and make it valuable. And so we're really looking forward to keep doing these. Sign up and come to NAB. We hope to see you there. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.